Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Happy Friday.
It is Friday. We are live every other Friday. My name is James Marin, integrative registered dietitian, environmental nutritionist.
I'm Delia Marin, registered dietitian nutritionist, and we are both the co-founders of Married to Health, which is an integrative dietetics practice with a very plant-forward, plant-based focus.
Yes. So, welcome. Today's topic is going to be really it's part of a series, Good Gut Roots, and this is talking about pregnancy and your microbiota, pregnancy and your microbiome, which are the genetics of your microbes, and how that plays into your good gut roots. Okay, and this is so important because we really want to touch on this topic and just kind of this awareness and bring this into your space because everyone was a fetus in someone's womb, right? At least I hope so. Everyone has a mother and was a fetus in the womb. And so, you were in your mother, you were part of a genetic lineage from human cells as well as microbial cells. You were growing, and there's newer research, especially in the last 5 to 10 years, stating, what we once thought was a sterile place, a sterile environment, is not the case, right? So we know microbes are affecting mom's health, microbes are affecting the unborn fetus's health. And so pregnancy matters. That is a time that you had no control. That is a time that you were probably not aware of. I don't know many people who remembers being a fetus in the womb. And you were at the whim of those taking care of you. And you were most likely, especially if you were born like us in these last couple of decades, or especially in the last, let's say, 80 years of this industrial revolution that we've been experiencing and hyper growth into electronics and plastics, you were most likely exposed to synthetic chemicals. You were most likely exposed to antibiotics. I can go on and on, but anyway, this is the topic for today. If you're interested, let us know. We're live. Of course, our Good Gut members ask questions. We're going to be answering their questions first. We want to hear your questions and comments around this topic when it comes to pregnancy. Are you trying to get pregnant? Are you pregnant? Or how does this fit into your health history in terms of when your mother was pregnant with you? So we want to hear what you guys have to say.
And we are registered dietitians, so one would think, why are they even talking about this?
Yeah.
Why aren't they just talking about foods, right? If you
Right.
have SIBO, if you have IBS, what foods should you be eating? And we do talk about that a lot, and we have something exciting that we're going to share at the end of this with all of you. And we also want to ensure that everyone understands the really complete picture of their gut story. A lot of times patients come to me knowing I'm a plant-based dietitian, and they say, but I'm already eating plant-based. I'm doing all the right things. I don't know why I'm still having these symptoms. That can create a lot of food fear, and that can create a lot of stress and anxiety around meals. That can even lead to disordered eating or a full-blown eating disorder. So
Right.
I think it's really important for everyone to understand their full gut health story, so that way they don't think, why isn't this way that I'm eating for the last month completely overhauling my gut health? Yes, your microbiome can change over time. It can take 3 to 12 months to make really significant change in your microbiome. However, we know that a lot of other things were pre-existing that set the stage for your gut health. So while you might be saying, but I'm plant-based now and I still can't tolerate certain foods, or, I went gluten-free and my gut health issues are not all resolved, those things likely may help. Some yes, some no.
Right.
And there's more to that story.
Totally.
Last week, we covered children and gut health. So we know, right? We love referencing that great study that showed the first 1,000 days of life are very formative and very key to developing a lot of the foundation for the gut microbiome. So we talked about that. We talked about 0, day 1, up until 3 years old. And so today we want to take it even a step back, because I often will ask my patients during our visit, I'll ask them day 1 stuff. So I'll say, were you born vaginally or via C-section? We know that vaginal delivery, especially before the last couple of years, that inoculates baby with more microbes from mom's vaginal microbiome. That could be good. That could not be good for some people, right? If mom has chronic UTIs, mom has high abundance of group B strep or E. coli, other microbes abundant in her vaginal microbiome, that might not always inoculate baby with a great abundance of commensal microbes. That's another story. We ask if people were breastfed. And now we want to say, okay, what did mom's gut health look like? That's
Right.
maybe a question to ask your moms or ask your parents. You want to ask, how was your gut health when you were pregnant with me? When my patients share, my mom has IBS too, and my mom has so many gut issues, I'm always saying, maybe you should ask how her gut health was doing during pregnancy.
Yeah. And yeah, I just wanted to add to that, or just really just reiterate. I mean, so mom's gut health can play a protective role or a causal role, right? So what those microbes are doing in the womb, what those microbes are doing that you're exposed to from mom, again, let me say that, can play a protective role or play a causal role in chronic disease. And so it's just like an inheritance, right? I look at it from a financial standpoint, right? Sometimes our family, we inherit debt from them. We have those family members who are like, dad was gambling a bit too much, or dad had too many credit cards, and when come time to get that inheritance, you're inheriting a bunch of debt, and you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know dad owed $100,000 to whatever. And you're like, oh no. Now there's other situations where you get an inheritance of $100,000. Like, oh, cool. Wow. Thanks, dad. I didn't know you had this, or thanks, mom, or great uncle, or great aunt, or whatever. And you're like, wow, I got this inheritance. This is really going to help me and my family and the new generation moving forward. Your gut microbiota is the, if not one of, best inheritances you will give to your children, right?
And
It's
it can be
huge.
a symbiotic relationship, which is really cool. So baby can also donate things to mom. Mom can inherit from baby. So some people will find when they have autoimmune conditions, some people will find when they have chronic conditions that they actually slightly improve during pregnancy. And we know we are meant to survive. So we are our bodies know that. Our bodies know, okay, this is my host, this is my mom, she has these things going on. I need her to survive because I need to survive this. So there have been studies that have shown that fetal cells and stem cells that are emitted by baby passed, from umbilical cord from mom to baby can actually donate fetal cells, which are reparative, and baby can donate stem cells as well. So maybe your mom says, yeah, I had really bad IBS my whole life, but when I was pregnant with you, I actually felt really good. So I'd encourage you, if you have chronic gut issues that are not resolving, go back to pre-day one, right? Go back and say, how was your gut health when you were pregnant with me? If that's an opportunity that you have to ask that question.
Yeah, huge factor. So we've spoken before about teratogenic effects, right? So this even goes into exposures, environmental exposures. Did mom and dad or anyone in the household drink and smoke? And on top of course, what were they eating to then create that microbiota that you're exposed to? And again, we're focusing on pregnancy, like when baby is in the womb, right? When you are developing in your mother. Another thing to keep in mind, even when we're talking about going back, right, and just thinking and looking back at this lineage, is realizing in terms of our genetics, really you were made partly by your grandmother, right? So I always say this, and it kind of, it blew my mind when I first learned this a while back, and it blows our patients' mind when we kind of just remind them about this, which is grandma was pregnant with mom. And for women, all of the eggs are there, right? In utero, you are going to develop all of the eggs you'll ever have, meaning 50% of you was there in grandma's womb. I have to say this slowly because, like, Inception, right? It's like, wait, what? Like, so grandma pregnant with mom, 50% of your genetic makeup from human DNA was there. When mom's born, again, your little egg, when you were an egg, was there. And then when your mom grew up and met your father, that egg and the sperm met and made you, right? So even going back when grandma was pregnant, what was she doing? What was happening? What does grandma have? What chronic disease is she experiencing? So all this to say, not to overwhelm you and go, oh my gosh, some of you don't even know your grandma. Some of you, there's everyone's different. but it's to say, and it's to understand this idea of patience, right? So
Mhm.
it's like, this could be a long, long, deep rooted, deep seated lineage of trauma and chronic disease. And so if you're trying to do a 6 or 7 week course, if you're trying to just read a book, if you're trying to watch our 25 or 30-minute video and be like, yeah, I'm gonna fix this all tomorrow, it's probably not the case. It's possible, anything's possible
Yeah.
for sure, but most likely you will need a lot of support, a lot of patience, and a lot of hard work. And it's totally doable. Okay.
Mhm.
So we want to just give you this context, give you this understanding, and then give you this encouragement. Like, you can do it totally, but have an idea that this is a deep, deep, deep root for some of you. Not for all of
Mhm.
you, but for some of you, for
Yeah.
sure.
So let's talk then about what goes on when women are pregnant, right? How does that then translate to what baby's microbiome might look like? In the past, the field of microbiome research really felt that the womb was a sterile environment. The placenta was all protective, no microbes penetrated the placenta and got to baby.
Mhm.
Newer studies are really changing that. And they're showing that, one, there's still a lot we don't know. So even though we're gaining more information, there's
Yeah.
still a lot to be researched that we don't even know. We've shared before, the last 5 to 10 years of microbial research and microbiome research have been so extremely insightful. We're just at the tipping point of really understanding more about what's going on with the microbiome and how does that translate. And I would say studying the fecal microbiome from what we've researched has proven difficult, because how can you get a really accurate picture of that? You can take microbiome samples, but researchers have said, how do we know how much of that was influenced by way of delivery? So you can take a stool sample from a newborn and see what they've been inoculated with. But again, they've passed either through mom's vaginal microbiome or they've been delivered via C-section. So environmental microbes could have inoculated their gut, whether they're
Mhm.
pathogenic or commensal in nature. Through the vaginal microbiome, that could have been another source of inoculation. It would
Mhm.
be unethical to try to acquire a fetal microbiome sample in utero, right? That could pose risk, pose harm to the fetus. So it's hard to answer this question in a very straight way,
Yeah.
because there's no ethical way really of kind of directly acquiring this information. But we know that throughout the last several decades, we've known, okay, mom's immune system can influence the nervous system of baby. Mom's immune system can influence immune system of baby, setting the stage possibly for autoimmune
Mhm.
disease. So in the last couple of years, researchers have taken that a step further and they've tried to identify, what about mom's microbiome? So, yes, immune system can translate. We know the immune system creates immune cells, which can create byproducts, which can
Mhm.
influence how our microbes respond. And that's been
Mhm.
a really interesting finding in the last couple of years.
Yeah, and I think overall, from reviews we've seen and different studies we've seen, it is this kind of dance going on between hormones via the endocrine system, like Dali mentioned, the immune system, and then the microbiota of both mother and baby, right? So it's this intricate, interwoven dance between all of them. And like Dahlia mentioned, if you were to ask a doctor or researcher and go, tell me exactly what pathway is doing this and how this is happening, they'd probably go, we really don't know, right? So, but we kind of have this idea that it's these
Mm.
huge sections and they're all interwoven, they're all dancing and intermingling. And it's probably going to be a little while until we figure out exact metabolic pathways and everything. And we were just talking about this too, of like
Mhm.
mapping out all these different species and phylas, and I mean just all these different microbes, let alone all the metabolic pathways they're involved in. And then, oh my gosh, it like just saying that is like an overwhelming thought. And I
Yes.
don't know, it would probably take a quantum supercomputer along with a team of researchers for the next, I don't know, 100 years to kind of go through all that. And but it's
Mhm.
exciting. I think eventually we'll do it, and that's pretty cool to think about. But it is a big, big task at hand. And just one more thing, because
Mhm.
I know I can talk a lot, but is understanding that we kind of have a general sense, right, of what's important. We have a general idea of what factors are going into this, and it's kind of taking that and taking action today. You don't have to wait until we've
Mhm.
mapped out every single, nook and cranny of it. So yeah.
And so what I mentioned was, yes, we haven't been able to really find a solid, safe way to acquire that exact answer. But what we
Hmm.
do have is epidemiological data. So, you know,
Hmm.
following people, following infants that were born, we can assess mom's microbiome during pregnancy and see if that equates to the infant's microbiome. So we do
Yeah.
have that epidemiological data. And we do have mouse models. Again, we're not mice. Our bodies don't function exactly the way that mice do.
Hmm.
However, they have seen similarities, which are why mice are often used in studies,
Right.
ethics aside from that. But in mouse studies that have recently come out in the last couple of years, they have found a couple interesting things. So, the permeability of the intestinal lining, the gut lining, literally the skin that lines the gut. The permeability, meaning how open it is, we all know we have some degree of permeability. That is in order to exchange information between the immune system and the gut and the microbes. And so, yes, we all are slightly permeable, but that permeability increases in utero. And this allows for more interactions between baby's microbiome and mom's immune system. So baby's microbiome is providing information to mom's immune system. So mom's immune
Really cool.
system can then come back and support baby's microbiome. Amazing. I find that to be
Totally.
amazing.
Totally.
um, and we also know that when mom's immune system responds, there is an antibody mediated transfer of what are called metabolites. They're byproducts of mom's microbes. When we're feeding mom's healthy microbes, her good gut bugs,
Hmm.
or not, even the pathogenic, they're making byproducts. They're producing things in return. You
Hmm.
want to have more of that healthy production. But mom's metabolites, mom's byproducts, are increasing antimicrobial peptide production. So that's going to then tell baby's gut to produce more epithelial lining. It's going to strengthen baby's gut lining. It's going to produce more of that mucus. So baby is born with a robust system and a robust protection. So yes, maybe it's more permeable, but it's a little bit more robust, even though it's permeable during pregnancy in utero. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, and to translate this, again, we're looking at epidemiology and associations and looking at trends, and there have been trends and associations with increased preterm birth
Mm,
with some of this dysbiosis that we're seeing in mom and some of these lifestyle factors that lead to dysbiosis in mom. So
mhm.
even to the point of the oral microbiome and looking at oral microbes making their way in the bloodstream and then making their way into the uterus and the placenta.
Yeah.
So very, very interesting. So yeah.
Mhm. So, yeah, there's this amazing exchange of data,
Hmm.
whether it's from mom's immune system, baby's gut to the immune system. This was really cool that one study showed short chain fatty acids, again, those
Hmm.
byproducts that mom's healthy gut bugs are producing. So, we want more short chain fatty acids. They protect us, they help repair the lining of the intestines, they help rebuild the layer of protective mucus inside of our gut. So, short chain fatty acids transferred from mom travel to the baby's thymus, where they trigger epigenetic changes that nudge T cells towards becoming regulatory as opposed to inflammatory later in life. What's the translation of that? So, we all have different types of immune cells, and we generally want more of these regulatory immune cells, which means they're there, yes, to keep things in check, but they're not out of control. Yes, we want a
Hmm.
solid army, but we don't want one that's brutal, right? And that's kind of when autoimmune disease onsets. It's when these T cells from our immune system, they become inflammatory.
Hmm.
And so we want to make sure all of that is staying in balance. And so this is interesting. Mom's microbiome is triggering baby's thymus to produce either regulatory T cells or inflammatory T cells. I found that to be
That is
so fascinating.
crazy.
That can, again, impact autoimmune disease later down the line, later in life. Amazing. So that was really cool. And again, we've seen, just like those short chain fatty acids can affect the thymus, they can also affect baby's heart, baby's pancreas, and other organs. So cool. And other studies have shown mom's microbiome as well can implicate and impact. We know, again, pancreas, so risk for diabetes, neurological function. So many amazing things. So let's talk a little bit about mom's habits during pregnancy. James mentioned a few.
Yes. So we talked about like smoking and drinking. I mean, those are big ones. I think a lot of us know, not to do that are not good. But it's other things now. And I think others are becoming more mainstream in terms of avoiding plastic, right? Of avoiding, even this is becoming more known as like avoiding sushi and lunch meats and questionable foods, processed meats, so you're not getting those nitrites and
not just that, baby's immune system is immature. So if mom gets food poisoning during pregnancy, baby might not be able to fight it off. So you want to avoid those risky foods during pregnancy just to be safe. Baby's gut is still quite permeable and baby's immune system is immature.
Right. And so, so the host of definitely what you're putting into your body, as well as a combination of what is going on in and around your body is key. So of course, when you're talking about nutrition, you want to obviously focus more on gut building foods. So a lot of these are colorful, starchy foods. It's easy to go like, just eat your colors, fruits and vegetables. Yeah. Well, specifically roots and tubers and starchy, colorful foods. So purple yams and, even
plantains.
Exactly. The plantains or the purple potatoes or the red potatoes, the papaya, bananas as we go into the fruits.
Okra.
And getting all the different colors of apples of all different shapes and sizes. So you're getting all those pectins, and I mean, the list can go on and on. So overall, you guys know we're going to say eat more plant foods, but it's not just because, we just like plant foods. That's our thing. It's because there's a reason, right? We want to enhance mom's microbiota so it interacts and interchanges with baby's microbiota, and then you are mediating this amazing synergistic effect of microbiota, immune system, as well as neurological system, and you're making another human being, right? So
that nutrition matters. Again, I mentioned how those short chain fatty acids can communicate to various parts of baby's gut and immune system. Amazing.
Yeah.
Other lifestyle factors that moms can be aware of. James mentioned oral care, right?
Yes.
We know that your oral microbiome directly allows for passing of either pathogenic microbes into your bloodstream or directly into your gut, right? They're connected. So either pathogenic or healthy or commensal microbes. So moms take really good care of your oral health during pregnancy. We know, again, sometimes women can tend to have more inflamed gums for various reasons during pregnancy, but you want to take really, really extra special care of your oral health during pregnancy. You want to take care of nutrition, like James mentioned. Another lifestyle factor to be mindful of as well, sleep and stress during pregnancy. And then really being vigilant and hyper vigilant. I don't like to often encourage people to be hyper vigilant, right? Which is almost like really, really putting focus on something, but you want to be hyper vigilant about how many antibiotics you're using during pregnancy. Some are not marketed as safe. Some are labeled unsafe during pregnancy. And we know also that there has been correlation, again, in animal studies, so not the best strength of evidence, but animal studies have shown that antibiotic use during pregnancy is correlated in later generations of mice to changes and increased susceptibility to asthma, obesity, colitis, diabetes. So it's so important for us to be really taking care of ourselves, right? So our immune system is strong during pregnancy. We're not opening up doors for pathogens through unsafe foods, like James was saying, raw, undercooked foods. And we're really just trying to be as preventive and proactive as we possibly can.
And especially if you are experiencing symptoms currently, if you're currently experiencing chronic disease, if you're currently experiencing GI issues or some form of dysbiosis, this is even more so, right? It's time to take action, learn, and really implement what you're learning into your lifestyle. Work with an amazing care team and take action on that, because it's never too late. Don't think like, oh my gosh, my grandma smoked and drank and my mother did, and they all had IBS or they had Crohn's and I have that too. And oh no, it's not the end of the world. There's always time to change. That's why our motto is heal with each meal. With each meal, you can change and shape your gut microbiota. And so it's important to keep that in mind. It's important to understand how really just, I mean, how your gut microbiota and even the lining in your gut can bounce back and regenerate and do amazing things.
Our bodies are meant to heal if we give them the right environment and the right tools to do so. So you want to consider, how am I encouraging my body to heal? If you're pregnant, you want to ask, how am I protecting my baby? We're all mama bears, right? And we all want the best for our baby.
I'm a mama bear too.
James is an honorary mama bear. But we want to protect the unborn. We want to keep them healthy. We want to stay pregnant full term if possible.
Yes.
And that ties back into your gut health as well, as some studies have shown. So let us know what you guys think of this information. We didn't get too many questions, but we did.
Don't go yet. Wait, before this, guys, if
we've been pregnant with something. It's not a baby, but it's something we've been working on for about 9+ months now. So we've been working on, and someone commented this, make a cookbook. We've been working on an elevated cookbook. So there are recipes in there. You will get 100 plus
recipes,
Married
guys.
to Health recipes and others. But you will also get good gut information. So we've come out with our Good Gut A to Z guide. It is a guide that is going to take you through over 100 foods from the letters A to Z. For every letter, we have 3, 4, 5 different foods. We're going to tell you all about that food. Like, where did this food come from? What are the benefits of that food for your gut health? How can you eat that food? So we wanted to answer all the questions that you might have and really help you across those barriers you might have to change of eating more of a diversity of plants.
So if you go to marriedtohealth.com, you will see, and you can get your Good Gut A through Z guide. This is for the whole family, whatever your family looks like, or just you. It's for you to practice incorporating these foods.
All stages.
All ages, all stages. It's for you to incorporate these foods. It's for you to help your family incorporate these foods. It's to get the whole family involved in the kitchen. It's to maybe order these foods when you're out. We really made this for anyone and everyone, and we want to just educate on these amazing foods for your gut microbiota and beyond. So we're really excited. This is our baby. Our baby's born, and what a great topic.
I love the comments.
To start it. Yeah. Thank you guys. And we're seeing all your comments. We love being live. And again, we're live every other Friday talking about a good gut topic for the most part. We'll get into other topics too. We just kind of been doing this, and it's wonderful. We love it. So again, if you're watching on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, connect with us, subscribe. Let us know down below in the comments if you're watching this later on a topic you're interested about, on questions you have. We are here to educate. We want to talk
about, every other week, all things good gut. And once a month, we go live with the other 3 dietitians in our practice. Sometimes you get all 3, sometimes you get 1 or 2. But that's a really great opportunity if you're like, okay, I love the gut health stuff, and I want to learn more about intuitive eating, or I have an eating disorder. We have a dietitian specialized in intuitive eating and nutrition for the family. We have a dietitian who's an eating disorder and gut-brain connection specialist. And then we have a dietitian who specializes in metabolic disease. So we want to
What is that? Metabolic disease.
So metabolic disease, diseases affecting the endocrine system, really. So diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, obesity. So we want to hear what you guys have to say. And if you do want to learn how to nourish, love, and support your good gut, you can check out on our website our Good Gut Guide. It is now live, and you can purchase your very own copy. So marriedtohealth.com is our website.
All right, everybody. Another great Friday. We hope you're having, or let's see, do we have some questions?
A couple questions to answer.
Let's do it.
Hi, Paige. Thank you for tuning in.
Let's do it.
Yay. Aranda said she's so excited. Thank you so much. Thank you, Aranda.
Cool.
And then someone's asking, on days you can't home cook, is Daily Harvest still a way to heal while healing the gut? We love Daily Harvest. So
Daily Harvest is a 2 thumbs up from us. And we always recommend even pairing it with foods you have. Like we always have beans in our fridge. So
some type of plant protein.
Some type of plant protein. We love adding that to the Daily Harvest. But overall, Daily Harvest, even frozen foods. I hope if you've been following us, you guys know we even did a post on this not too long ago about frozen foods. Frozen foods are gut healing foods, unless they're frozen like donuts or something. Don't do that. But frozen whole foods. Let's clarify.
It could be raw donuts.
Could be a raw health. Okay, but you know what I mean. So yeah, frozen okra, or you're freezing your zucchini or strawberries or blueberries.
I'm a big fan. Someone else washed it for you, chopped it for you. I'm all about the frozen.
Or even if you're doing it yourself, right? Like we sometimes get a huge bag full of zucchini from the farmer's market. And we chop it up, we freeze it, we use it in smoothies, and we use it for savory dishes and soups. Go for it. Frozen foods. And Daily Harvest, so clean. Their packaging is like compostable.
They're very environmentally conscious,
for sure.
Which, yes, great for the environment, but what's good for the environment, you guys, is really good for your gut and your baby's gut if you're pregnant. Yep. So we love Daily Harvest. You can go to our website. They're part of our affiliates page. And so if you want to use our code, we have one. So I think it's DH Married to Health, but you can go to our website and see that. Someone else asked, would you guys ever offer a healing gut retreat? This is something we've been talking about. If we feel like there's enough interest, we would love to make it happen. It's been on our hearts to eventually do that.
Guys, sign up, go to our website. You can sign up for our newsletter. So just stay involved. I mean, there's actually really cool stuff going on in that area. It's very early. It's a very small fetus right now, but
we're pregnant with that idea.
We're pregnant with many children and their ideas, not actually children. So
do you know something? I don't know.
So yeah, I mean,
no children, but ideas.
Give us those positive vibes. I love that. But yeah, there's something really cool. It involves maybe a ranch and growing food and really connecting back with soil. And I mean, I'm just gonna throw it out there because I'm a believer in it. But like connecting with soil and growing the food and coming there and learning about nutrition, as well as learning how to grow some food and being connected with nature and meditating, and could definitely be down the road for sure. But I love it.
We're leaving the possibility open.
Yes.
So absolutely. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Thank you, everybody.
If you know someone who's pregnant and they are wanting to ensure their baby has a really good gut, share this live with them. If you want to learn how to eat new foods for your good gut, head to our website, marriedtohealth.com. You can check out our Good Gut A to Z guide. Thank you all for tuning into these lives. We will keep them coming. And if you have new topics that you want us to add to our list, we have quite a list of topics.
Yeah.
Let us know.
All right.
See you soon.
Have a wonderful weekend, everybody.
Thank you. We hope you heal with each meal this weekend.